Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. On this episode, I'm going to talk about a year on the wrist with my Rolex Submariner date, reference number 126610LN. And like you saw from the thumbnail, it has recently incurred some battle damage. I'll also talk about that. My name is Shane Walls and I make my living as a fine art nature photographer and explorer. I've come to truly depend on my tool watches when I'm out in the field. Whether it be timing my hikes or timing my camera exposures, tool watches are an intricate tool in my photography process. And these episodes on this channel are based on my amateur watch collecting journey as I search for that ultimate tool watch. Okay, here we go. Talking watches, one of my favorite parts of the day. Now, over the last year of wearing the Rolex Submariner, it has shown me a lot. It has proven to be an incredible watch. But also too, I think it might be the most functional tool watch available on the market today, in the way that this can be worn in any environment and any situation. Now, from personal experience, the Rolex Submariner has proven to be well-built, well-designed, tough, and an extremely accurate timepiece. But thanks to Rolex marketing, heritage, and just overall influence as a luxury product, I can wear this Rolex Submariner when I'm out scuba diving off the Channel Islands, and that same night wear it with a suit or dinner jacket out to a formal event. This is one of those very few tool watches that's not passé to wear as a dress watch. What helps makes this watch so practical is it's a tough, durable dive watch, as well as it's a tough, durable, thin dive watch. This is one of the thinnest dive watches you can get, and that really helps with the form and function and versatility of this watch. I was recently speaking to someone at a watch event and they put it perfectly. The Rolex Submariner is that perfect chameleon watch. It's that watch that you can wear anywhere, like I just mentioned, but it's one of those fun things that, you could wear this with a suit and the very next day wear it with trunks and flip-flops when you're going to the beach. There are very, very, very few watches that could pull that off. And again, thanks to the marketing of Rolex, James Bond wore a Submariner. This is where the hype of this watch is kind of a good thing in a way, given the baddies know about it too, and it might not be the safest thing on your wrist, even though times are changing now. It is one of those interesting things where, because of the overhype of this watch, the hype comes from somewhere. The hype is like a legend. It starts somewhere and it's built on truth. This is that watch exactly. It's gotten overhyped, but because of that overhype, you can pretty much wear it anywhere. But deep down at the heart and soul of this watch, it's a very impressive tool watch. Durable, tough, extremely accurate in all sorts of conditions. That is special.
Boring. Yep, not on my wrist.
Now, getting into accuracy, which I think is the most important thing in a watch. Forget how it looks, forget the hype, forget all that. If it's an accurate, tough watch, count me in. This watch is averaging, over the last 12 months of wearing it, it is averaging a half second fast over 24 hours. 0.5 of a second over 24 hours. And it's interesting to me because this is the most stable, I guess is the right word, movement out of all my Rolex watches. This is one of those watches, it doesn't matter if I'm wearing it a lot, if I'm not wearing it, if it's sitting off to the side, it stays right about a half second fast every day. It's different, my Rolex Explorer 2. The more I wear that, the more accurate it is. It's always within the +2, -2 that Rolex guarantees. If I wear that watch a lot, maybe say like 14 hours and I'm hiking with it, it's pretty much day accurate. The Submariner is never quite day accurate. Back to the Explorer, the more I wear it, it's day accurate, but the less I wear it, it kind of, and this is so fun how I'm using these terms, it slips out of accuracy, and I'm talking about a second over 24 hours. So that either way, both these watches are impressive via accuracy. All Rolex movements are pretty much. But this one just stays the course, steady, half second fast a day, doesn't matter how I wear it. Not like the other watches where the more I wear it, the more accurate it is, the less I wear it, the less accurate it is. But again, less accurate, we're talking a second over 24 hours. Want to breathe some new life into your home or office? Why not do it with some fine art and nature photography? Through my exclusive fine art photography, I celebrate the beauty and grandeur of nature, but also the solitude and peace that I feel when I'm outdoors. Limited to only 18 prints per image, I use the best possible cameras when capturing that perfect moment in time, allowing for amazing image quality on any scale. Industry-leading printers with top quality materials to create these nature scenes as if you were there witnessing them for yourself. Check out my website for more information on these award-winning photographs. Power reserve. Rolex weights the Submariner as 70 hours of power reserve. And I've heard rumors that Rolexes start to slip after a while and lose power reserve. This one, not at all. I've just tested it over the last couple of days. It's averaging between 72 and 70 hours of power reserve. So it's right there. It's only been a year. I'll keep testing this and we'll have a lot more of these updates. I'm interested to see in 5 or 6 years how the power reserve holds up. But as of after 12 months, it's more than Rolex quoted. I'm still in the belief that the proportions of this watch have only made it better, that it's grown from 40 to 41. That was always, I was on the fence about that when it originally happened, but if you really measure it, they're not that much different. It's not quite the most comfortable watch in my collection, but still a very comfortable watch. And with the glide lock system, again, I mentioned this in all my videos, this is a superb system. I wish all my watches had it. The glide lock, it makes this watch a lot more comfortable instead of just the micro adjustments, and makes it so easy to go on from wetsuit, again, to sitting on the beach with your flip-flops to wearing with the suit. The glide lock system really helps the elegance and the diversity of this watch. Also too, making it a little bit more elegant, the ceramic bezel, there's still an argument if it's better metal, aluminum, or ceramic. The ceramic does make it a little more shiny and scratch resistant. I go either way, it doesn't really matter to me. The ceramic has proven to be very tough. I have knocked it quite a few times and it hasn't scratched or cracked. I'm not sure I can avoid it anymore. Let's talk about the elephant in the room here. I biffed this watch up against a rock and I have chipped the Cyclops eye on this watch. Now, real quick, the Cyclops eye, it's a give or take. Some people love it, some people hate it. I can live without it, I can live with it. I kind of like it in the way that in darker situations, it does make it a lot easier to read the date. So the Cyclops eye, I'm fine with it. I kind of like it, to be honest. It might not be the same sapphire as the rest of the watch. As I was hiking and I had my tripod out and I wasn't really paying attention. I swung, not thinking, I was concentrating. There was this beautiful eagle coming down and just nailed the watch on a rock. There was definitely a moment. The sapphire, the rest of the front of the watch, sapphire and the ceramic bezel, took a hard hit, but the only thing that chipped was the Cyclops eye. So that speaks to the toughness of the watch. Usually scratches, dents don't really bother me. This though, I'm not gonna lie, it's bothering me just a tad because it's the way that right where I nicked it here or chipped it, it's right in front of the date. So now with the magnification of the Cyclops and that being right on top of that, it fuzzes out. I hope you can kind of see here on this B-roll here. It's now makes the date a little bit fuzzy. I'll get used to it. That's just happened a couple days ago when I was out hiking. So now the Cyclops eye might not be as strong as the rest of the watch. It's a bummer. I'm over it now. It is in the worst possible place. The accuracy with that huge knock against the rock, and this was a full knock. Any other watch, I'm sure would have broken it. Even more of, I'm not gonna go there. To be fair, I treat my watches like tools and I'm very hard on them and put them through a lot. It held up pretty well and the accuracy was not affected in any way, shape, or form. So it is what it is. It's part of being a tool watch and actually using it out in the field. I accept it as it's going to get beat up. It looks good beat up. It's just, this is just right. This nick is just right in the wrong spot. Now, I know I'm going to hear about this in the comments that I should have gone with the no date version because then there's no Cyclops, and a dive watch shouldn't have the date window on it because if you're reading the date when you're diving, you're dead anyway. But I do disagree, and I should go into that. Ever since I bought this watch, I've had no regrets whatsoever. I like the date function. I need the date function. Just because it's a dive watch doesn't mean it can do other things, so it needs a date. You're not always just gonna wear it diving. At least that's how I use it. And I travel so much, I need the date function. So that is a good point I should make. I haven't had any regrets after buying this watch. I've touched on the baddies and, you know, maybe being a little overhyped watch. And I get this question a lot in the comments. Do I ever feel unsafe wearing this watch? And the answer is 100% no. I've not had that issue just yet. And I'm in, should I name, I'm not gonna name any cities. I've been in some rougher cities. I've never once hesitated to not wear the watch to a certain area. On that topic of being noticed, this watch does get a lot of attention when I'm at gallery events. There are a lot of questions about it. It's about 50-50. Some people love this watch, some people hate it, think it's an overhyped watch, and I should have got a different watch instead. But either way, it's been a fun conversation starter. I did get offered the green bezel one. I'm still glad I went with the black bezel. I like my watches a little bit more under the radar. And this, as much as it can be, still goes pretty much under the radar when I'm not doing events. I haven't really been stopped and asked about this watch. So it's done that part, and it's a quaint enough watch, black on black. It's still subtle enough to go unnoticed if you want it to. The rotating bezel still holding firm even after a year, and I use this bezel probably about 6 or 7 times a day. I'm timing my prints when I'm here at the office. I'm timing my hikes, sometimes camera, long, you know, astro exposures. So it works great, still sounds great. That's a great sounding bezel. So the bezel has, and still has no back play, no play at all, really, with it. It's still holding up extremely well with being used a lot over these last 12 months. I can't tell you how much fun and enjoyment I'm getting out of this watch, and I still put full faith in it when I'm out in the field. It has proven itself, and it is still, I haven't found another watch that can bridge that gap, cross that boundary, that huge boundary of formal and informal like this watch does. It still kind of boggles the mind a little bit that I wore this watch out on a 10-day camping trip out in the middle of nowhere for a photography project. It was dirty, it was muddy, I was sweating, I was bathing myself in lakes and streams, eating out of cans, hiking, beating the heck out of this watch. Drove home the next day and wore this same watch to a formal, affluent event. The watch never left my wrist over those 12 days. And that has really connected me in a way to this watch that makes it special. It's one of the most special watches in my collection. And we had a quote unquote a bonding moment over that. But that just shows how special this watch is, that it can cross that boundary once again of formal and informal. Like really, no other watch really can. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Some quick upcoming things to remember. This Saturday, I believe, or around that time, Average Bros interviewed me on my watch collection. So more information on the link below or over here, however YouTube's doing it now on that. So check that out. I talked about my watch collection and went into depth about each watch. Also too, if you're in the Southern California area this summer, from July 5th to August 30th, I will be showing my exclusive artwork at the world-renowned Festival of Art Pageant of the Masters in Laguna Beach, California. Come by, say hi, we can talk watches, talk art. Tickets are between $10 and $15 depending on what day you come. Live music every night. It's a fun event. Hope to see you there. Thanks again. Cheers.
All the Submariner expresses, in my opinion, is boring. Yep, not on my wrist.